The screaming started before sunrise, and let me tell you, that sound will put hair on your neck, even if you're half asleep standing in the kitchen flipping pancakes with the sun barely poking up. I just started my second cup of coffee when my wife's voice, sharp, focused, ripped through the walls, and right behind her was another voice, even shriller. "You want a hook?" Here's one. If you ever wondered what happens when a petty dictator tries to call the cops on the county police chief, buckle up, 'cause you're about to find out the hard way. I dropped my spatula, stumbled out the door in my bare feet, sleep shirt blowing in the wind, and what I saw nearly made me forget how to breathe. There's Karen, our neighborhood's reigning HOA queen, phone out, recording my wife like she was about to land a spot on the evening news for catching a dangerous criminal. My wife Melissa, arms folded, uniform badge glinting faint in the gray dawn, standing square between Karen and our half-open ranch gate. Karen was screeching about trespassing, HOA authority, and personal threats, shouting to the clouds that Melissa was a menace. Thing is, Melissa isn't just any local cop, she's the new chief for the whole damn county. Karen, not a clue. But she's already on the phone with 911 telling the operator there's a dangerous woman pretending to be police. And just as my wife calmly shrugs off her jacket, showing the full uniform, sirens start wailing in the distance. The whole scene felt like slow motion mayhem, but let me back up a sec, because this circus didn't start overnight. 3 months earlier, Melissa got the promotion we sold up in the city and moved to our dream spot on the edge of Pine Hill Estates. Big sky green pastures, enough room for goats, chickens, and a porch swing creaking in the wind. Our land was technically outside HOA control, but our driveway connected to their private road, and that was all the excuse Karen needed to imagine she ran our lives. For a while it was peaceful Melissa up at dawn, me writing from home, fixing up the barn, putting out wildflowers and new mailbox numbers. Then the first note showed up. Unsigned. Gate must be repainted HOA gray, not black. Melissa rolled her eyes, crumpled it, tossed it. The next note on the mailbox. No livestock allowed, Section 8B violation. Only we'd checked we weren't even in their jurisdiction. Still, Melissa tried to play neighborly, went to an HOA meeting, introduced herself. Karen looked her up and down. Sniffed, said, "Hope you're not planning to keep animals. This isn't a zoo." Melissa just smiled. "We're good folks. You won't have trouble from us." Karen leaned in, all smirk. "We'll see about that." And so it began, a battle of nerves, pettiness, and paperwork. Karen started walking her little dog past our gate, daily phone out, snapping photos like we were stockpiling nuclear waste instead of letting goats munch on dandelions. One afternoon, she shouted at our ranch hand, Tony, for rinsing mud off his boots by the creek, accused him of polluting the water. Melissa calmly asked her to leave. Karen screamed that Melissa was a fake cop, just a housewife with a badge from nowhere. Melissa didn't bite, just told her, "Stay off our land." Things ramped up when we installed a security camera at the gate just to catch coyotes. Karen called it an invasion of privacy, shrieked loud enough for the neighbors. Next Sunday, she brought the full HOA board, stood outside, pointing at the barn, ranting that our goats were dangerous. Our police vehicle made the place look like a crime scene. One board guy, Bob, tried to play peacemaker, suggested hedges and a gate repaint. Melissa nodded politely. Karen sneered that she shouldn't have to ask nicely badge or no badge. The next morning, Karen just walked through our gate phone, out trespassing, bold as brass. Melissa went out, Karen screamed and dialed 911. And here's where we loop back Melissa in full uniform, standing cool as stone, while Karen's got the cops racing down the road toward a standoff she didn't understand. But right as the squad cars roll up, one of the officers hops out, salutes Melissa. Karen's jaw nearly hit the gravel, but that wasn't even the twist C in all the chaos. Karen drops her purse and a silver master key tumbles out. One only HOA board members should have by regulation and never supposed to leave the office. Officer picks it up, looks at Melissa. "Chief, isn't this restricted?" Melissa nods. Karen stammers some line about spot inspections. Board members back away, arms folded. Officer asks if Melissa wants to press charges. Karen tries to spin it, accuses Melissa of threatening her, demands she be arrested instead. The other cop, Sergeant Daniels, says, "Karen, this is the county police chief. You're trespassing." Karen's face crumbles. She storms off, shoes crunching in the gravel. No apology, just retreat. You'd think she'd give up. But the next week we get a stack of HOA citations wrong. Fence color, unauthorized camera, disturbing livestock, aggressive signage on our mailbox, and get this, impersonating law enforcement. Melissa's hands shook. That night she mapped out the HOA boundaries, matched them to our deed, and emailed the board, zoning office, sheriff, even the mayor, laid out the evidence, filed a complaint. But Karen wasn't done. She showed up at Melissa's workplace, accused her of abusing power, hissed about people like you not lasting around here. That evening, Bob, the board member, called, asked us to meet at the gate, handed over a folder full of HOA financials, board minutes, and fake violations Karen had written up to drive out residents she didn't like. "I'm retiring," he said, "and someone needs to stop her." That night, our barn burned down. We ran barefoot through the grass trying to hose it down, but the whole thing was gone before the fire trucks arrived. Out at the edge of the woods, smoke in my eyes, I spotted Karen, arms folded, face lit by the flames, watching, not saying a word, just smiling before she slipped back into the shadows. Fire chief found lighter fluid along the barn's base, arson, no doubt. The weeks after, folks started coming forward, emails, anonymous notes, even Casey, a young woman, pushed out for flying a rainbow flag on her porch. Melissa built her case, tracked a pattern, Karen and the board targeting anyone who didn't fit their ideal, young couples, veterans, single parents. They'd been fined, pressured to move, replaced by approved neighbors. Karen fought back, sent people to spy, bribed Tony to dig dirt. He laughed in their faces, had our mailbox smashed. Then one afternoon I came home, found the office ransacked, laptop gone. "You should have just left," scrawled on our whiteboard. Melissa beat them to it. She'd already backed everything up, and now she had photos of Karen meeting with a disgraced developer, the same guy accused of bribery, across 3 counties. Suddenly, it wasn't just HOA drama, it was fraud, conspiracy, maybe even organized crime. But then came the move I didn't see coming. Melissa suspended, accused by Karen and her cronies of harassment, corruption, all the classics. 3 days off badge on the counter, barn, a black skeleton outside the window. But Melissa wasn't finished. She published it all. Documents, recordings, every fake violation, every dirty trick posted online under Pine Hill exposed. Within hours, the whole town was talking. Former board members came forward. Reporters ran with it. City officials stepped in. Karen tried to escalate, threw a fake property lien at us, but Melissa held up our deed exempt. Then the county investigator showed up, Karen named in a formal investigation, fraud, property destruction, arson. And just when you think it's done, boom, another fire, and our guest shed fresh boot prints leading straight back to Karen's place. Police locked down the area, found evidence, and finally got a search warrant. Inside Karen's garage, HOA ledgers, master keys, a rifle with fresh powder, all linked back to her and her right-hand man, Ray Donovan. Karen screamed. It was a setup. But this time, no one believed her. She was cuffed, her cronies dragged in, the HOA dissolved, and Melissa, standing by our gate, eyes wet with relief, finally let herself breathe. The council revoked HOA power, handed everything to city code enforcement. The case made national news. Melissa got a standing ovation at town hall, and Bob, the board member who started it all, shook her hand, told her she gave the town its voice back. So now, months later, we sit under the stars, barn rebuilt, stronger goats munching hay, peace back on the ranch. Melissa leans on my shoulder, says, "Remember when she tried to call the cops on me?" I laugh. Now she sees them every day. We watch the lights from the barn, let the night settle. For the first time in a long while, we're home, really home, and no HOA tyrant can ever take that from us. So you tell me, when is enough enough? When do you stand up? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me what you would have done, who you think was right, what justice really means in a place like this. Because I'll tell you one thing out here, the only rules that matter are the ones you're willing to fight for.